Few friendships in American history are as legendary as the bond between Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Today, many people remember the two men for their roles in the famous gunfight at the OK Corral, but their friendship went far beyond one battle in the Arizona Territory. It was a friendship forged through danger, loyalty, and survival in the American West. John Henry "Doc" Holliday was born in Georgia in 1851 and trained as a dentist. However, after being diagnosed with tuberculosis, he headed west in search of a drier climate. Along the way, he became known as a gambler, gunslinger, and one of the most feared men on the frontier. Despite his reputation, those who knew him often described him as intelligent, educated, and fiercely loyal to his friends. Wyatt Earp was a lawman, businessman, and frontier figure who spent much of his life seeking opportunity across the rapidly growing American West. While traveling through Texas in the late 1870s, Earp and Holliday met and quickly formed a friendship that would become one of the most famous partnerships in Western history. The two men had very different personalities. Earp was known for remaining calm under pressure, while Holliday was often unpredictable and quick-tempered. Yet somehow, the two developed a deep respect for one another. In a lawless frontier filled with outlaws, rustlers, and gunfighters, trust was rare. Both men knew they could depend on the other when danger appeared. Their friendship would be tested in Tombstone, Arizona. Tensions between local lawmen and a group known as the Cowboys had been escalating for months. On October 26, 1881, the conflict erupted into the gunfight at the OK Corral. Lasting only about 30 seconds, the gunfight became one of the most famous events in American history. Wyatt Earp stood alongside his brothers Virgil and Morgan while Doc Holliday fought at their side. After the gunfight, violence continued. Morgan Earp was murdered, and Virgil Earp was seriously wounded in an ambush. Wyatt believed the attacks were carried out by enemies seeking revenge. Determined to protect his family and seek justice, Wyatt organized what became known as the Earp Vendetta Ride. Once again, Doc Holliday stood beside his friend despite the enormous risks. Years later, Doc Holliday's health continued to decline due to tuberculosis. In 1887, he died in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, at just 36 years old. Although Wyatt Earp lived for decades after Holliday's death, he never forgot his friend. According to accounts from those who knew Earp, he often spoke highly of Holliday and remained grateful for the loyalty Doc showed during the most dangerous moments of his life. In a frontier world where alliances often shifted and trust was difficult to find, Wyatt Earp never forgot the man who stood with him. Their story remains one of the greatest friendships in American history, a tale of loyalty, courage, and an unbreakable bond. This is Forgotten Americana.